So first play we're going to look at, 2nd and 2, one of the Patriots' first offensive plays.
What's going on, everyone? Mike Kadlick, Taylor Kyles here for CLNS Media inside of Gillette Stadium, getting you ready for Patriots versus Texans coming up here at 3 p.m., a divisional round matchup between these two foes. The winner goes on to take on the Denver Broncos next Sunday at Mile High Stadium, so big implications here, Taylor.
Yeah.
And we just got our inactives list out from both of these teams. We're going to start right there with this one, and we will start with the Patriots as... I don't know why my Twitter feed's not loading with my inactives list, but there we go. Kobe Minor, Braden Swinson, Marcus Bryant, Eric Grigory, Caden Wallace, CJ Dupree, and Tommy DeVito are all down, which means Harold Landry, linebacker, defensive end, whatever you want to call him, with the knee injury, is good to go in this one, Taylor. So they're getting a lot of some help back there at that position group. No Darrell Taylor called up, as we talked about on earlier show, but Harold Landry, the big one there on the inactives list. But any thoughts there from who's in and who's out of this one?
I mean, the big one is that you have Harold Landry. Now, I will say, we mentioned last week, wasn't a great game for him, and that's because he is still banged up. He's out there playing, but clearly not the same player he was earlier this season. So that's something to take with a bit of a grain of salt. But the big one, I think, is that Kyrus Tonga, quite literally, big guy that they're getting back in the lineup, really the heart of that defensive line when you talk about their run defense. And the Texans don't have Trent Brown.
Right.
A lot of shuffling that's going to be going on that side of the ball for Houston. You've actually got right guard Titus Howard bumping outside to right tackle and Jarrett Patterson at right guard. So that's great news for the Patriots, who are trending in the opposite direction of the Texans, where they're really getting much healthier now.
Yep.
So the fact that the Texans have no Nico Collins and no Trent Brown, I think is massive. And the Patriots, all of their inactives are players that you could probably predict and kind of guys who are closer to the bottom of the roster. So great news for the Patriots, and in my opinion, just another reason why the Patriots should win this one. I don't want to say comfortably, but I think it's going to be a similar fourth quarter where the Patriots really do have a pretty strong hold of the game.
We'll get you with a prediction in just a second here down the stretch of this show, but the full list of Texans inactives: Nico Collins, as Taylor mentioned, Graham Mertz, quarterback, is inactive, running back Jawad Jordan, cornerback Elijah Huzzie, wide receiver Justin Watson, and also, as he mentioned, right tackle Trent Brown there. So again, a massive one. He had not practiced Wednesday and Thursday, was out there Friday. Looks like he was going to try and go. I think he even told a Texans reporter at one point this week that it was just precautionary, but he tried it out pregame, the ankle not hurting him. So massive implications for this one, especially because we talked about in our game keys a couple times this week, getting after Texans quarterback C.J. Stroud is going to be a huge area in this game. He's pretty good when he's able to play in structure. That Nick Haley offense can dig and dunk and find his wide receivers. But when he's trying to make something out of nothing, he's not great, and we saw it last week against Pittsburgh. So that Patriots defensive front should be able to get after them. No Nico Collins as well. Yep. We know that. We talked about that ad nauseum this week a little bit. But now that it is official and he is down for this one in and active, they're going to be going with Christian Kirk, and
Jaden Higgins and Xavier Hutchinson.
And Jalen Noel as well, that group of three Iowa State wide receivers. What do you make of that bunch? Is that, and now we also have, so we'll have, sorry, I'm losing my mind.
It's a little chilly. It's okay.
Christian Gonzalez out there at cornerback. Carlton Davis as well, and then the third cornerback in that grouping will be Alex Austin, who came back and was activated off of injured reserve today. What do you make of those matchups, those three guys against this Patriots defensive backcourt that now is all of a sudden getting healthier?
I like Jaden Higgins. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes a play or two, and I do think Xavier Hutchinson is a pretty good route runner, but when you have Christian Gonzalez, you're paying Carlton Davis as much as you're paying him, and you have Marcus Jones, who was someone who was in the Pro Bowl conversation among slot cornerbacks, although that's not a position yet. Yeah. I really do think the Patriots should handle this group pretty aggressively. I'd like to see the Patriots lean on some man coverage, maybe early on, and then when things kind of open up a bit, go towards more zone, try to force some turnovers. But I really think the Patriots have a huge mismatch when it comes to their cornerback room versus the Texans wide receivers. Although I will say, if there is a mismatch in this pass game, I could see the safety struggling with Dalton Schultz, a very good tight end who C.J. Stroud has excellent rapport with.
This place is absolutely rocking.
It is.
I was trying to listen to you. I was trying to get us set up for our next up, and I couldn't hear anything because I believe the running backs came out, Trayvon Henderson, Ramondre Stevenson, and the bunch just came out here at Gillette Stadium. This place was absolutely shaking. So. Yeah, right. But it's a playoff atmosphere right now. These Texans come up from a dome. Drake May talked about that on ESPN Sunday Countdown with Teddy Bruschi, talking about how they want to make this place hard to play in the snow. And he did mention that the Texans are coming up here as a dome team and that they want to make this quite the home field advantage. So we'll see if they can end up doing it. We will tell you guys about our friends from PrizePicks right now, because PrizePicks is the best place to get in on the action all football season. The NFL playoffs are here. There's also basketball down the stretch as well here of the rest of 2026. So make sure if you want to get in on the action, head over to PrizePicks and use code CLNS and you'll get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, that is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. We will have our PrizePicks lineup for you guys right now, so me and Taylor can give you guys our picks for this game. I just got to pull mine up. But again, a reminder, use that code CLNS on PrizePicks. And as you know, it is good to be right over at PrizePicks. So Taylor, what do you have in your PrizePicks lineup for Patriots versus Texans today?
Yeah, so I've got C.J. Stroud more than half of a passing yard. Got to get on that one. I have Drake May with more than half of a passing touchdown, and Ramondre Stevenson with more than 39.5 rushing yards. I think he's going to have a big one today.
Love it. Okay, I also have the C.J. Stroud. It is a free square on PrizePicks, so make sure you put that in all of your lineups. Again, more than half a passing yard. More than half a passing yard for C.J. Stroud. I also have Jaden Higgins less than 36.5 receiving yards. The Texans have to switch it up. The Patriots know they have to switch it up. They're going to keep him at bay. And then I do also have...
I think the Texans are running on the field because all I hear right now are boo birds.
Yep, it is.
So what is going on right now?
They might have showed someone on the Jumbotron.
Oh, I think
maybe
that was
a Texan. I don't know. But my final pick on the PrizePicks lineup, Taylor, you're not going to like this. I got Drake May more than half an interception. I think this Texans defense might get after him a little bit, might get a little aggressive. We saw last week he made a couple mistakes. We do know, however, that Drake May has improved on his mistakes and not made the same mistake twice this year often. So looking at this daunting Texans defense, we keep using that adjective this week, the two edge rushers in Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson, all those guys, how do you think the Patriots can attack that defense? Do you think it should be a successful one? I know we'll get into our game predictions here in a second with scores and whatnot, but can the Patriots get after these guys?
I think so, and I think the first big key is going to be running the football and establishing that ground game. I've talked about it, Tommy Tongiai, their three technique. He's very good when he's on the backside of runs and when he's able to get out in front of outside zone blockers, but he has struggled when offenses decide they're going to double team and run right at him, so I think that'll be a key. Also, wear down these Texans edge rushers with your run game. You've seen that with draws, they've had success, other teams also, when you wham and just have somebody kind of distract these edge rushers and then hit them when they're not expecting it, teams have been able to have success. So make sure you wear down this Texans defensive front so they're not at full strength when they're rushing the passer. When they are getting after the quarterback, I think Josh McDaniels is going to make sure he's not putting his offense in bad positions. That means if you're going downfield, it's got to be play action, moving pockets, double teams, chips, things like that, just so you can make sure that you're not leaving Will Campbell or Morgan Moses one-on-one with these elite edge rushers. And if Drake May has time, I think you need to dare to go deep. I understand this is a very good Texans defense from front to back, but I also think that Derek Stingley has lost. He's let some guys get behind him deep. Also think that Henry To'oTo'o, their linebacker on the weak side, has struggled against receiving running backs. Ashton Genty and R.J. Harvey both had huge downfield receptions against him. And then in the middle of the field, I would like Demario Douglas against Jalen Petrie in man coverage matchups. And if they're playing single high zone, maybe get across Kalen Bullock's face on some crossers or some deep posts there. So there are spots that the Patriots can attack, but first and foremost, they're going to have to make sure that this Texans edge rush group doesn't take the game over.
Going to be interesting to see how exactly they can attack it and make this one happen. We know now that the winner of this game will go on to Denver next Sunday to take on the Broncos and quarterback Jarrett Stidham.
Former Patriot Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah, talked about that a little bit on our show earlier this morning, but just want to reiterate to you guys here. Bo Nix, Denver quarterback last night, suffered a broken bone in his ankle. He will not be around for the rest of the playoffs. He is scheduled to have surgery on Tuesday, I believe. Sean Payton announced last night that he will not be in for the rest of the playoffs. So if Broncos want to go on to win a Super Bowl, it's going to be Jarrett Stidham. Wanted to just get a quick reaction from you on the Bo Nix news, and do you think, and we talked about it a little bit this morning, just want to reiterate, if there's any quarterbacks coach, head coach, what have you, that you need to get your quarterback ready for a playoff run, it's Sean Payton. He's done this before. He's developed these guys. We know that. He did it with Drew Brees. He's done it in Denver a handful of times. Even Bo Nix has had an awesome second year behind him. But your reaction to the Bo Nix news, and how much does Jarrett Stidham, former Patriot, again, 4th-round pick in 2019, potentially scare you as some of the Patriots could go up against next week?
I mean, I feel for Bo Nix. He played so well yesterday, and it sucks that this is how his season ends. And with the Broncos, I mean, how well they played that, I'm not going to say they can't win with Jarrett Stidham, but it would be significantly tougher. So stinks for Bo Nix. I hope he heals up. I will say with Jarrett Stidham, this is a guy you're not going to have tape on. I
Right.
think if the Patriots do end up going to Denver, there's going to be a period where you got to kind of settle in, see what kind of passing concepts Jarrett Stidham's comfortable with, and how the offense looks different with him under center. Now, maybe it's more limited, what have you, but I'm also not going to completely discount Jarrett Stidham because Sean Payton seems to have confidence. I thought he was a talented player coming out of Auburn, and he's had plenty of time in the NFL to maybe improve some of the things that he struggled on. So having a backup quarterback in the AFC Championship game is obviously not ideal, and it puts the Broncos in a worse spot, but I'm cautious about what exactly that offense is going to look like with Jarrett Stidham because those preseason highlights look pretty good, and I know those are backup defenders, guys who may not even be in the NFL right now, but to Jarrett Stidham's credit, you don't have tape on the guy, and he has nothing to lose, right? He's in an AFC Championship game he shouldn't be in.
Baby.
Go out there and sling it. So, cautiously optimistic for anybody who does face the Broncos. Hopefully, of course, ends up being the Patriots.
Fun Broncos room, fun Broncos quarterbacks that room. Jarrett Stidham, Bo Nix were at Auburn at one point together.
Yeah.
Bo Nix is that old, even though he's only a second-year player.
There's like a picture of when Bo Nix was like touring or something. Jarrett Stidham was already there.
Yep. So we'll see what happens there. Obviously, winner of this one goes on to Denver. You got to get through this one first. So we will get predictions right here, right now. Taylor, how do you see this game, Patriots versus Texans, going? Who do you have winning, and what's your final score prediction?
I'm going to go 24-10. I feel like I ping-ponged around different, Patriots. Okay. I'm sorry. I ping-ponged around like low to mid-20s and somewhere in the 10s for the Texans. But again, I think this is a game that with how healthy the Patriots are right now, with how banged up the Texans are, and also just some of the matchup advantages I do see, I think the Patriots should enter the fourth quarter just saying, hey, let's not let our foot off the gas. We're in a good spot. Let's finish this out. And I think they do.
We will see what happens. I got 10-7 Patriots. I'm going low scoring.
I hope you're wrong.
I stole this one out. I read a bold predictions article every week for SI.com. I stole it from this one. I'll be going bold here. Low scoring. I said it's going to be the lowest scoring game in the playoffs. The snow is starting to come down a little bit. It's supposed to cake up a little bit later in this game, so we will see if the Houston Texans, Patriots can get through it here. But I think it's low scoring. Both defenses are going to come out flying around. C.J. Stroud, I feel like, is going to have a hard time in this weather. And Drake May, well, he has played solid in this stadium and in this weather so far. It's a different test against this Houston defense, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully both teams can score more. We get a more exciting game here, but I'm going with a low-scoring, wintry matchup here with the Patriots moving on to take on the Denver Broncos next Sunday. But we will see what happens. We will react to all of it here on Patriots Press Pass right after the game. Myself, Taylor, John Zanis, Greg Bedard, the whole crew on Patriots Postgame. So make sure you rate, review, and subscribe to Patriots Press Pass. And until next time, after the game, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will see you soon. Peace out, everyone.